Hi, I'm Johnny, and today I'm impressed to share from my heart. I've been praying. If you're watching this video, I have prayed this morning for you, and I prayed and asked God that only the people that needed to hear this story today, my story today, would join me. So just know that I have prayed for you. This morning is a very special morning. It is actually my daughter's 43rd birthday. The reason why I felt so impressed by God that I should share this story is because every year on her birthday, I am extremely thankful, so grateful to God for the gift of her and everything she is to us. She's been such a blessing to our lives. I can't even imagine my life without her in my life. With that said, and I'm probably not going to make it through this without crying, so just bear with me. But the reason why her birthday is so special to me is because 43 years and 9 months ago, I had to make a very difficult choice. For me, I thought it wasn't a choice. Hi, Francis. For me, I didn't think it was a choice until I went to visit someone, and then they said that I did have a choice. And so I made the choice to have a baby as a teenage mom, still in high school. And for years and years, I beat myself up. You know why? Because I blamed myself for being out too late with my boyfriend, who now has been my wonderful husband for 43 and a half years. But I blamed myself and I beat myself up a lot. And it took about 15 years of my life of agonizing over those choices that I made as a teenager to spend too much time with my boyfriend. But there were reasons for that. I was living on my own. I was homeless. I rented a room. I was a ninth grader, pretty much trying to survive. I paid for my bills. I bought my clothes. I worked. And he was the only person of support that I felt I had. My dad was a weekend alcoholic, and although he loved us and tried, he had his own life to live. My mom had abandoned us. And so pretty much for years, I was the mom of the house. And for the first time, I was on my own, and I was happy. And so I had Deli, and he was my support. And I loved him, and he loved me. And we conscientiously made a decision that we wouldn't be sexually active. Except one night, things did get out of control. And although nothing went through all the way, well, something did happen, because 3 months later I was throwing up and I was very sick. And so I discovered, of course, that I was pregnant. And the person that did the test for me said, I don't understand how can that happen, because we really didn't have sex that night. And she said, all it takes is the right ingredients at the right time and you can make a baby. And to me, that was a really big shock. And it was devastating because I had dreams. I had dreams to go to college. I had dreams to be a professional person. And I had dreams to do things right, to do things in the right order. And in fact, just around that time, I was starting to go to church. And so for me, it was so devastating. But to say the least, it wasn't until one day I was at a Kathy Tricoli concert. And like I said, for about 15 years, I carried this weight on me that, I made choices with my boyfriend that allowed things to just happen in the wrong way. And I wanted the perfect wedding night and all that. And I was just very resentful, even towards my husband. It wasn't until that night that I was at that concert that Kathy Tricoli invited all the women who had had an abortion to go down to the front, that they needed to pray for them, that they wanted to pray for them. And so I stood there cold and sweaty at the scene of the hundreds and maybe thousands of women that stood up, that had made the other choice that I had made. their pain, their agony, their regrets, and all their tears that I saw in their brokenness and in their faces, I will never, ever forget. And it wasn't until that moment that I was able to receive forgiveness from God for my decisions and for my choices. And so I thanked God and I accepted his forgiveness, because you see, God is always willing to forgive us, but sometimes it's so hard for us to forgive ourselves. And so that's why on this day, every year, I am so, so grateful that I made the choice to keep my beautiful daughter. Every year, I don't have to wonder what she's like or what she would have been. I know exactly what she is. She's awesome. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. She's made a wonderful life for herself for herself and her family. And she's a professional and she's a doctor, got her doctorate. I mean, just so many, many, many things that I'm just so proud of her. But at the same time, every single year, just as I am full of so much gratefulness that God allowed me to go through this journey, that he allowed me to go through the pain and the shame of that teen pregnancy, that he allowed me to forgive myself, even though it was 15 years later, but he allowed me to do that. Just as I am feeling so grateful, there's always, and it doesn't fail every year, that I think about all the other women in that concert. And every year, my prayers of gratefulness and thankfulness for my beautiful daughter are always paired with prayers for the other women that made a different choice. And today, I was so impressed. And the fact that I'm sharing, even 2 years ago when I shared my story through the picture book for kids about the girl, the teen pregnant girl that went to high school, that was me. 2 years ago, I authored that book. And still today is like, when I'm thanking God for my daughter, I am praying for you if you're one of those women. I am praying for all those women at that concert. And I was just very impressed today, even though it's a very it's a very hard story to share. I was just really, really impressed that I needed to share this on Facebook. So if you are watching or will watch this later, just know that I prayed for you this morning. And I asked God to allow me to share grace with you today. And the verse that he shared with me that he wanted me to share with the people listening is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And it doesn't matter the choices we've made in the past. God is willing to forgive us. God is willing to turn the page, but we have to allow him to forgive us. We have to forgive ourselves because he has already forgiven us. So anyway, short and sweet and to the point, but like I said, every year on my daughter's birthday, and this is her 43rd birthday, 43 birthday, I have this sense of emotion and gratefulness to God for her, but at the same time, I think of the other women. And I pray for them, I pray for their pain, I pray for their regrets, and I pray for their forgiveness of themselves, and I pray that they will have peace, and that they will have life beyond that moment of pain. So anyway, I know some of you are listening now, and I know some people will listen to this later, but I was just really, really, really impressed that I needed to share my story today, as hard as it is. So anyway, God bless you all, and thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm on my bike because I had to get it in early. When you're retired, I guess you could do stuff like that. All right, I have to go ahead and turn this phone off and get off my bike. Bye, guys. Ugh.